3 months on from winning his 4th World's Best Player of the Year award, there's a genuine, mind-blowing discussion that we need to have. Is ZywOo still improving? We are only 3 months into the year, yet we've already seen him claim 2 MVPs and post his highest event rating of all time over 12 maps at IEM Krakow. He's currently sat at a staggering 1.44 rating for the year, and at 25 years old, are we only now beginning to see ZywOo move into his peak? Let's dive into it. Having watched a lot of demos, trust me, there will be a huge amount of analysis and clips coming up. But to start with, I'd love to mention some key differences to showing this improving trajectory of ZywOo. A key question that gets asked around him is that, is he even an AWPer, or does he just pick it up whenever he feels like it? Well, this year he's currently killing with it just as often as players like Wonderful, Shiro, and 910. But when we compare this number of kills with only his own kills from the last few years, that's where we see a serious change in his game. These are the percentages of kills from 2024 with the AWP, 2025, and for the first 3 months of the year, side by side for comparison. They aren't just a small difference, they're a staggering change by a player who was already regarded as the best player in the world last year. He's actually been quoted multiple times saying that he simply doesn't want to use the AWP sometimes, or that he finds it boring to use, or that he's lost some confidence using it. And it was highly notable watching these games that he's using it way more often on both sides of each map. And there are so many of highlights that show just how confident he is with it right now. A general sign of spotting a player with sharp aim is to check their pistol ratings. And of course, ZywOo is up there rated as the 2nd best pistol player of all time, only behind Donk with his freakish 1.47 rating. I'm not even sure that this is the most crazy shot I'll see today, but I had to include it. Unlucky. And we're going to see ZywOo just really abusing the fact that he's got perfect running accuracy with his Glock. Doesn't stop sprinting, runs straight up, takes an advanced position. This clip is one of many that I already watched on my Twitch channel. So if you aren't followed already, then make sure to check it out, where I regularly analyse pro demos, co-stream games, and talk to chatters about anything. Then he peeks when the CT starts shooting, collects an easy 4K. Great start for the game for him. The weird thing is that ZywOo's pistols in the Krakow and Cluj Poker finals were almost non-existent. Other than the frag that I just showed you, and this moment now, he really didn't get off to that many good starts at all. And this is a testament to just how consistent of a player that he is, as many stars rely on fast starts and eco frags, which is something that didn't really happen in these finals. It's very common to see ZywOo using objects to block flashbangs, which is something I don't see other AWPers use as much. See, now constantly moving, this flashbang does get eaten by the pillar. Gives him a free kill. But the reason why I want to show this round is that ZywOo was having a terrible game. He was 6-13 before this moment. The Molotov comes in, which allows him to search a little bit deeper. Gets the tag. And again, we'll see now, using that pillar to really dodge the flashbangs. Makes it very hard when a player is constantly moving around like this to find the perfect pop flash. And he gets the 2nd kill. And ZywOo had that 3K pistol 1v2 we saw in the first round, got to a great start, and since then everything's gone terrible. And imagine having a game like this, 6-13, and you pull off a 1v2 like this. Incredible. What I really want to show off is look at this first bullet accuracy. First bullet, 180. First bullet, 2nd bullet, incredible. Having a terrible game like that, and he pulls off highlight of the year, which is why I said in a clip a moment ago, the KaTrZero jump shot, probably not the best kill of today. Just incredible. So why is he so consistent? Interestingly, ZywOo famously doesn't like to play the game much at all outside of practice. And in an interview with Croissant Strike, he mentions playing lots of other video games, and even saying that he prefers to play different FPS titles to get new mouse feelings. So he's not the type that lives in the game, compared to someone like Donk or Monacy, who grind hundreds and hundreds of Faceit games per year outside of team practice. He really seems to have an incredible gift of being a natural at the game. And that is going to be obvious with the many moments coming up that I think are impossible to teach to other players. In this pistol round with his apartments player pushed up, ZywOo sees a T-smoke bouncing towards the graveyard, and he instantly runs into it to create cover for himself and find favourable duels. There's zero hesitation here, and it's clear his job was to hold for a short push that isn't coming, and his quick decision making nets him a quick 2K. And there's this round where James is perfectly countering ZywOo's boost from the low tunnels, and it's almost like ZywOo knows exactly what is happening, and even jiggles it with his legs. At this moment, James realises that ZywOo isn't going to peek, and he starts moving forward, and that's exactly when ZywOo does peek. It's freakishly perfect. He showed himself and then did nothing for almost 5 seconds, which baited James forward like his prey. And later in the same game, in a different situation, he does almost exactly the same thing to ZywOo. Just look at the timing he creates. From ZywOo's POV, there's nobody short, and then ZywOo is perfectly holding him. But from ZywOo's view, it looks extremely uncomfortable until it isn't. I believe he has an incredible intuition for the game. And let me add that every clip you see today is from a grand final at an S tier competition, so his composure is also unmatched. For me, It's the little details that make ZywOo special. And he really is just a master in his positions. In this round now, ZywOo sees nothing on the map happening, and smoke grenade comes over, and you see, look how he's crouching waiting for this, and it almost looks like he doesn't really know what he's doing, as he's standing up looking at nothing, but actually what he's doing is he's using again the objects to spot the flashbangs and to dodge the flashbangs. So we see this now, the flashbang, he saw it in the air, and the second it blows up, he peeks, and he finds a kill. And I feel like you really need to watch ZywOo in slow motion sometimes to understand how amazing he makes this game look. Flashbang comes in, peeks, kills, re-peeks from the other side, kills. And if we watch this from Fallen's POV, it's almost like there just isn't a flashbang. And afterwards he's probably thinking, guys, we need to check that flash. Something's not right. And another minor detail to talk about is how to use cover and to always try to be peeking. And even here with an AWP, ZywOo is constantly crouching, standing up, and he's having peekers advantage from a static position if Fury does decide to walk out of Palace. Just the tiniest details that ZywOo is trying to use all of the time. And in this round, everything starts with AWPer, who gets confirmation at the right time. So ZywOo's actually on the wrong bomb site. He comes back, and it's very particular what ZywOo's doing again. So the smoke is here for AWPer to go close, and now it's very common to hold the end of the smoke and wait for the tease to come through. He's actually fully exposed himself from A. Fully exposed. And the reason again is he's using the objects around him to cover the flashbangs. And you see now a very common flashbang comes in, and he's able to sidestep to the right, blocks the flashbang, and he's a free kill onto Mr. Fallen again. And at this moment, Fallen must be wondering where his teammates' flashbangs are going. And this moment is just elite. I consider this maximizing everything possible. So we see ZywOo now fully in the open, he goes forwards, and he decides to stand in a very weird angle. And it's such a position where you're actually exposed if people come this way, but you see exactly why he stands here. The flashbang comes in above the truck, and because he's still exactly where he is, he doesn't get blind at all. Free kill on the first one. Bream on the second one's fantastic. Ready for the reaction here, which doesn't come. Holds a tiny gap towards long. Wide peeks to see nobody here. Kills this guy, crouches, stands up, moves to the side, peeks again. It's just unbelievable decision making at the top level. And it almost feels like every person had no chance. Unbelievable. There are also just so many kills that he makes where he seems to be in a bad position but finds a 3k with a 5-7. Or a double scout headshot on 2 Ts who are stood in a line holding him. Or smoke spams the instant that a CT fires from a certain position. The clutch rounds, however, are where I believe ZywOo's greatest skills shine. Particularly when he's playing with a teammate. It feels like he is constantly aware of everything and always calm and in control. But for me right now, this trio is the best clutch trio in all of Counter-Strike, and it's not close. We'll see here, AWPer is going to die with the bomb, and CT's monster smoke is coming in. ZywOo hears it advancing now and goes in front of the smoke. At the same moment, as he takes the duel and wins it, Mezzy stood behind him, lining up for the refrag in case there is another close monster player ready to swing. In case Router swings for the trade, and instantly gets killed. The fundamentals then kick in. ZywOo and Mezzy close the gap, Rops gets close, they come together, and both players are looking for this hiding barrels player. You see now, even ZywOo will jump peek this, sees him, and unfortunately in this situation, Mezzy steps in front of him at the same moment, and instead of getting a free kill, he headshots Yuri through Mezzy, and that also gets Mezzy killed. And at the same moment, Ikinda makes a good play over the smoke, and saves the round. But that was a 3v5 on T-side overpass that got very, very, very scary because of the way they played it. So in this round, it's 3v5. 2 monster players went in and died. Vitality decided to slow the round down and try and play a little bit later. ZywOo's holding here just in case something happens. If a mistake comes in from Fury, they try and take some information. And that is exactly what's going to happen. Ikinda gets punished. In the same moment, Rops comes out and trades Apex at Monster. And the fundamentals again kick in. They slow everything down, they play together. ZywOo joins Rops. They find another punish. And now the level of understanding is unbelievable. So they're going to evacuate and go towards A. Molodoy has an incredible position, coming up in the truck in a second. And look at the way they do this. It's almost cheat-like again. So Molodoy's holding the pixel angle here. ZywOo is going to perfectly pre-aim this in a second, and Rops is going to run across at the same moment to bait the shot. See now? Rops runs across, Molodoy shoots, and ZywOo has a chance to kill on a pixel angle. And unfortunately for him in this situation, he hits a leg shot, puts him to low HP, and the timer is just low enough. But he had made that kill There was a chance there, 2v1, plant the bomb, Yuri's kind of in a lot of trouble. And the point of this is that when ZywOo is alive with a teammate, the round is never secure, and even though in both these examples so far, they did lose the round, there is so much pressure all the time, and it just means that there's no round that is free against Vitality, no round at all. And here we have a 3v3, and there's so many moments where you watch on the stream, things look lucky for ZywOo, and just look at this timing. Fallen's holding towards CT, ZywOo peeks, he sees the gun go in, and now he's a free kill. But there's always some little moment that Vitality can create. And this Rops Mezzy ZywOo combo is unbelievable. You see now, Rops is actually going to blow the smoke open. At the same moment, ZywOo is going to peek. And look at the impact this HE grenade can do here. Fallen has 3 kills towards CT. The smoke covering gets blown open, and because of it he has to turn. And then he repeats towards CT again, and at this point he's already been held. These levels of understanding from Vitality are unbelievable, and for something on stream which looks like a lucky one for ZywOo, it's actually perfectly planned with the smallest detail. And just focus on AWPer's voice when we play this clip in a moment. He's practically shouting at ZywOo to flash for Rops, and yet ZywOo very calmly checks for the flank first, and then throws a flash to turn this 3v4 on its head in an instant and force Fury into a save.
One ramp. Nice. Flashing now. Boom. Two more. Lock it.
I think 99% of people in this situation will prioritize flashing at the earliest moment due to their dead teammates calling for it in a raised voice. Yet ZywOo knows he has a moment to do it and checks for the flank first. It's unbelievable composure and awareness. It's the discipline that goes with this ability that elevates his level so much for me. In this 3v1 against Yuri, Rops, Mezzy and ZywOo literally give him no chance to get a duel. They're blocking him with smokes and forcing him to expose himself to multiple deeper angles. You might think as a viewer that this is common at the top level, but these overpeaks happen way more often than they should do. And this is a great example of that discipline right here. On a B-pop he's going in third with the AK. Nothing flashy about the trade kill. Checks his corners. And this is just understanding of the map and showing that you really want to win the round. And I see so many players in this moment greeting with their smoke, waiting to resmoke the door later, hoping for a free kill at the window. But instead with ZywOo, instantly, no risks taken, smoke the window, deny any chance for CTs to peek and get a kill back, end the round. Just incredible discipline. And there's nothing special about this round. It's showing the discipline that ZywOo has, because I see lots of top players here who wouldn't take this risk. They'll be willing to take the 50-50, boost their confidence. ZywOo takes none of this, he wants to win the round. And here in a B split, the round becomes really chaotic. And I love the way that ZywOo plays just fundamental CS, lets the trade happen, and waits for his teammates to go in. We see now, on the radar moment, waits for AWPer to join, he comes here from 3 different positions, they all go in, and Yellow has no chance. And it should really just be an easy trade, but instead, Props even makes the kill. Just incredible discipline. Even here in what quickly turns into 3v1 with just 6 seconds left, ZywOo is fully hiding, just making sure that nothing ridiculous can happen that could risk losing the round. He has a lot of HP, and I would see so many players peaking in this situation for some extra confidence, but he's just so trustable with his decision making. Now consider you have this player who overall is genuinely playing close to perfect level Counter-Strike, who's also playing with a Vitality roster with the in-game leader of the year, the anchor of the year, the closer of the year, and who I consider to be the best out-and-out entry of the year. This is a far cry away from the team that ZywOo used to play on back in periods like 2021, where he was pretty much forced to hard carry games. Now he has a lineup where he can really trust his teammates to make their expected kills, and more on CT sides. And on the T sides, create lots of space for him in these clutches, where we've just talked about how incredible he is with them. I would also like to note that ZywOo has a massive amount of freedom on these T sides. In one game against Paravision alone, I saw him entry fragging, trade fragging, going in third, and sitting back doing the utility. It's far from selfish either. If anything in this game, he was feeding entry frags by trying too hard to force it. So what exactly is it that Vitality themselves are doing that benefits ZywOo? Well, from the preparation side, I noticed moments like this, where we see ZywOo holding long and watching a fading door smoke from a very wide and strange angle. But then, I remembered a moment on stream where James had a lineup in the smoke that totally countered a CT AWPer who was holding a very specific, narrow angle. ZywOo knows this small information, and so he's ready to punish it in an instant if James does decide to repeat the play. There's moments like this, where the preparation and execution completely destroys a close monster setup with a perfectly placed Molotov, which baits the CTs into a slightly delayed double HE grenade, forcing trades and creating space for ZywOo to get involved in a 3v3 clutch situation. And this one where AWPer spams the smoke for Rops and Flamesy to run in instantly and find 2 entries that end the round in a moment. For a map like T-side overpass, which is traditionally a graveyard for T-side operatings, ZywOo is benefiting from unique and well-made ideas followed up with world-class players in every position, and then he can go into the CT side and flourish. He's always looking for those extra percentages wherever possible. And this is such a specific and small moment, but I just love that he's getting every little bit of information possible to just improve his game, just maximizing every little detail. AWPer comes towards B. He doesn't quite see anybody until the last moment. And in this same moment, as AWPer is about to clear B, ZywOo is ready to rotate. So what he could do right now is he could rotate towards A. But if AWPer sees people towards B, he's going to be around here, and he's going to be late coming towards B again. However, if AWPer clears this, he wants to make sure he can back towards A and still be there in time, so he doesn't want to rotate this way. So ZywOo somehow in this moment thinks the smallest details, and that is, he's just going to stand still. You see him waiting, waiting, waiting. Okay, now I go. And that's because, as we saw, AWPer got an unlucky time and see the B player. He sees the second person, ZywOo's kind of moving around. It's just lovely seeing a guy trying to be in the right position all the time by using the tiniest little bits of information. I really feel like he's maximizing everything in every position that he is in. His consistency is incredible and not reliant upon good starts. His feeling in the game is cheat-like. His AWP barely misses, his reaction time is incomparable, and he's quite possibly the best clutch player in the world, whilst also having the discipline to play on decision making rather than pure emotions. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments below. It really does help the video to reach more people. And as always, thank you for watching and see you next time.